Bam Margera's life has had its ups and downs, and we're not talking about skateboarding. From hidden sex tapes to tumultuous relationships, this is the untold truth of Bam Margera. Margera's future as a daredevil seemed set in stone from an early age. As a child, he's said to have picked up the habit of running straight into walls and jumping off coffee tables in his family home. His grandfather, having witnessed this self-destructive behavior on several occasions, started to call him Bam Bam, which was eventually shortened to Bam. The name stuck, and after he became known to millions through his bone-crunching exploits on MTV, he decided to make it his legal name. But after completing all of the necessary paperwork, he had second thoughts about filing it. He was ultimately persuaded by his father Phil to remain, legally at least, Brandon Cole Margera. Bam may not be royalty, but he is the king of his castle. Well, sort of. After his work on TV earned him enough cash to make his dream home a reality, Margera purchased a Gothic-style mansion in his home state of Pennsylvania and rechristened it Castle Bam, adding a host of new features to the property to make himself and his crew of co-conspirators more comfortable. The additions included a pirate-themed bar, a treetop casino that Margera and his friends later destroyed with cannonballs, and, of course, a huge skate park. Before the Jackass crew formed up, Margera filmed and edited his own video series with his friends from the CKY crew. The name stands for Camp Kill Yourself, which is also the name of Margera's older brother Jess's band. The latest and greatest was the last installment in the cult video series, though it was the first one made after Margera hit the mainstream, meaning that he had access to equipment that was previously too expensive. The production value saw a marked improvement from previous CKY offerings, though it wasn't the shiny new look of the film that had fans talking. On some copies of the DVD, Margera decided to include a clip of himself and his then-fiancée having sex as an Easter egg, hidden at the end of the movie. Margera was admitted to Chester County Hospital with nasty head injuries on June 12, 2010, after an altercation outside his suburban nightclub, The Note, left him bleeding and unconscious on the pavement. The incident took place when Westchester resident Elizabeth Ray, whose home shares a wall with Margera's club, saw the Jackass star leave the premises for a cigarette at around 2 a.m. and decided to confront him about the noise that had been keeping her awake. Things escalated very quickly, according to Margera's friend, Tammy Palumbo. Palumbo, who was with Margera when the attack reportedly took place, claims he walked away from the argument thinking it was over when Ray cracked him over the back of the head with a pipe-like object. Ray is said to have continued her attack verbally as Palumbo cradled Margera's gashed and bloodied head, supposedly yelling, quote, "I'll hit him again and I'll make sure I kill him next time." Margera's concussion meant he had to miss the shooting of the epic final scene in the Jackass 3D movie. In the end, Ray was found guilty of aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. She was spared prison time, however, with Margera himself urging the district attorney to allow Ray to serve her time on probation after learning that she was a caregiver for her housebound mother. After being hitched as a part of the TV show Bam's Unholy Union, Margera and Missy Rothstein ended their so-called Unholy Union in 2012, 5 years after getting hitched in front of millions of viewers on their MTV show. Margera didn't have to wait too long to give marriage a second shot, tying the knot with Nicole Boyd in 2013 during the Random Hero Festival, an event he held in Reykjavik, Iceland in honor of his late friend Ryan Dunn. It was far from a fairy tale Icelandic wedding, however, with the former Jackass star spending the evening performing with his band Face Unstoppable. Margera's wedding attire was equally unorthodox. He chose to walk down the makeshift aisle wearing a hoodie along with something MTV described as some kind of modified Skeletor costume. From one memorable experience at an Icelandic music festival to another Margera would sooner forget. In 2015, videos emerged of him being attacked by rappers Gisli Palmi and Egil Tiny Thorarensen in the backstage area of the Secret Solstice Festival, with the prominent Icelandic rappers landing several punches on Margera before he was pulled away and fell to the ground. According to a video that Margera recorded shortly after the assault, the musicians allegedly set about him at the behest of Leon Hill, Margera's former head of digital marketing and the current Secret Solstice marketing director. Margera claimed Hill owed him money and accused him of fudging the numbers on his YouTube channel. Hill, however, responded to the allegations with a statement of his own that detailed the series of events leading to the fight, which he claims Margera instigated. In the statement, Hill blames the lack of good material for Margera's YouTube channel underperforming. The tragic death of Ryan Dunn understandably changed Margera's life forever. The extent to which it impacted Margera was made painfully clear when he made his return to reality TV in 2016, appearing alongside his mother April on the VH1 series Family Therapy with Dr. Jen. During the interview, Margera admitted to drinking to forget rather than for the fun of it, and revealed he'd struggled with suicidal thoughts and depression. April Margera, who has appeared numerous times in her son's various videos and TV shows over the years, was reduced to tears as she recounted a Christmas argument in which her son told her he would die before her, likely by drowning in his own swimming pool. Margera's time in the family therapy house led to him getting sober for the first time in his adult life, spurred on by the support of Dr. Jen Mann and Bam's mother, April. After the show wrapped, Margera managed to go 4 months without a drink, though he fell off the wagon while attending an art show. In a follow-up interview with VH1, April revealed that her son's slip was orchestrated by one of his friends, who offered him a can of Coke that was actually full of booze. Despite the setback, she insisted that Margera is still trying to stay sober and was considering entering himself into rehab.
Skate or die, dude! And I just stopped. I was like, I'd rather skate.
In early 2017, word surfaced that Margera was back on the skateboard after a lengthy layoff that, as he later explained in an interview with Gencom magazine, stemmed from an assortment of problems, including bone spurs in his feet, the pressures of his celebrity status in the skating community, and the knowledge that he couldn't safely skate until he dealt with his drinking problem. Finding himself on an editing job in Estonia during the dark of winter, he felt himself reach the end of his rope, and felt the urge to get to Barcelona for the sake of going skating. He got on a plane, bought a new board, and hooked up with his friend, fellow skater and Barcelona resident Thomas Winkle, who promptly started filming Margera's exploits.
I rented a car and we just went from town to town meeting up with the locals and skating everything.
If that sounds like a nice vacation, well, it probably was, but it wasn't all fun and games. Margera's skating holiday served a larger purpose by helping him stay sober, for a while, at least. As he confessed in the interview with Gencom, "It's been a real struggle for me to stay off the alcohol, but just as long you're surrounded by good people and you have something to do, you'll be good. I know being in Spain is the best place for me right now to not drink." Bam Margera managed to get sober and rediscover his love of skateboarding during his time in beautiful Barcelona, but addiction reared its ugly head once more when he returned to the United States. In January 2018, the famous daredevil got hit with a DUI in California. Officers noticed him using his phone at the wheel and smelled alcohol on his breath after pulling him over for questioning. Speaking to Page 6, his mother, April Margera, begged for understanding, saying, "Don't be so quick to judge other people. Everybody has a different story, and everybody is going through different things. It's not an instant fix." Margera checked into rehab for a 3rd time following the DUI arrest, for which he got probation, telling his Instagram followers that he was, quote, hoping the term "third time is a charm" is true. Sadly, another relapse was just around the corner as the one-time daredevil turned to alcohol once more after being robbed in Colombia. After arriving in Cartagena alone, he claimed he got into a taxi at the airport and then things got scary.
I couldn't speak Spanish, they couldn't speak English, and they translated on their phone for me to read "empty your wallet" as they put a gun on their lap.
Margera said he handed over $500 and was let go. He described the incident as, quote, weird. Bam Margera was reportedly fired from the 4th Jackass film after allegedly failing to adhere to a so-called wellness agreement that required him to stay sober, among other conditions, during the production of the film. After his firing from the project, Margera filed a lawsuit which threatened to derail the release of the 4th Jackass movie. Johnny Knoxville, who was named in the lawsuit, told Variety in an interview that the whole affair with Bam was heartbreaking. He explained, "We wanted him all throughout the movie, but unfortunately that's not the way it worked out. I love Bam. We all love Bam. He's our brother, you know? You just hope that he takes it upon himself to get the help that he needs because we all care about him a lot." Things quickly went from bad to worse after Bam Margera was given the boot from Jackass Forever. Jeff Tremaine, one of the masterminds behind the franchise and the director of the 4th Jackass film, got a restraining order against his former friend after he began threatening him and his family, legal documents seen by People revealed. Bam's behavior, Tremaine alleged, left him in great fear for his and his family's personal safety, he told the courts, adding that Margera said, quote, that he has powers as a wizard and can create and strike lightning while speaking at times using numbers instead of English. The judge ordered Margera to stay away from Tremaine and his family for 3 years. Some of the drama played out on social media for the world to see. When Margera said that his former friends had betrayed, abandoned, and rejected him, Jackass alum Steve-O chimed in to defend the people he was accusing. Responding to Margera on social media, Steve-O wrote, "Bam, the 2 people you're saying wronged you, Knoxville and Tremaine, are the same 2 people who organized the intervention which saved my life. Everyone bent over backwards to get you in the movie, and all you had to do was not get loaded. We all love you every bit as much as we all say we do, but nobody who really loves you can enable or encourage you to stay sick. In December 2017, just 2 days before Christmas, Bam Margera's wife, Nikki, gave birth to a son, Phoenix Wolf Margera. In September 2021, news broke that Nikki filed court documents asking for full custody of their son. It seems as though the relationship fell apart following Bam's experience with addiction, but Nikki doesn't appear to have given up on him just yet. TMZ noted that though she filed for custody, she did not also file for divorce, which is uncommon. According to the gossip site, Nikki wants Bam to be able to visit their son with a monitor present. According to TMZ, Nikki is happy for Bam to pick his own monitor, but she will have to approve of that person first. For all his troubles, Bam clearly adores his son, who appears regularly in his Instagram feed. Hopefully, Bam and fam can get beyond the hard times. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration's 24/7 national helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357.